The end of 2020 is near, and that means the time is running out on how you view radar data from the National Weather Service. That's because browser support for Flash will end and radar data will have to be presented with something other than Flash. Fortunately, that's going to happen. There is an experimental page where radar data and a whole lot more is available and almost ready to go. The address is preview-radar.weather.gov. Don't bookmark this quite yet. Again, it's experimental. How about a quick tour of the page? Wanted you to have a look at the new features with the radar coming in December from the National Weather Service. There's a lot of new things coming. Along with radar data, you'll have forecast information and hazards. We'll look at that in just a second. But first of all, you're looking at National Mosaic mode, radar for across the country. What we'll do is zoom in on a particular area of the country, and in this case we'll go down to Florida. Zoom will be down here in the lower left portion of the screen, plus with zoom in minus zooms out. So let's zoom in a bit on Florida. Florida not showing up too well. The radar data is, but Florida as itself is not. So let's put some borders on there so Florida shows up a little bit better. So we click the triple line up here in the upper left portion of the screen, and then states, and now Florida shows up pretty well. If you actually wanted to loop this image, this is base reflectivity data. You could come down here to the bottom left and click this arrow, and you would see things start looping. Now this is National Mosaic mode. There's several things you can look at as far as products. Here's the National Radar Mosaic, looking at data from across the country. We can actually look for at radar station products as well for individual radar. So let's do that. So we click that and you see these blue dots that come up on the screen. We'll click this one for Melbourne, Florida. And again, it'll show the base reflectivity data for that area. It's a whole lot more than base reflectivity. Here's BREF, which is base reflectivity. If we click that, look at all the products that you have available for that one radar. So base reflectivity now. Let's see what's happened here in the last hour as far as precipitation accumulation. And as that comes up, what'll be noted is here in the last hour some gray areas, so some 0.2 to 0.5 inch totals, and then off the coast of Florida and the Atlantic coast, a little higher totals from half an inch to perhaps an inch of rain is going on there. So that's a few of the products, or at least a couple of the products available from that particular radar. I'm going to do something a little different now. Other than radar data, we're going to put in a location, our location. Let's try Melbourne, Florida, and locate that. And there you go. And now what we'll do is we're going to actually look at weather for a location. So it'll be for Melbourne, Florida. And so that's been loaded, and you have a couple of icons here in the upper left. One is for the actual forecast. We'll click that. And all of a sudden you have a 7-day forecast for Melbourne, Florida. How about any hazards that are in effect for that area? And it seems we have one, and it's a flood watch. And just to make sure that there's a flood watch for that area, we can look at it graphically. So let's look at all hazardous conditions. And now you can see it graphically. Just to make sure it is a flood watch, we can click this particular icon here, and it shows all of the hazards that are in effect in this particular window. So the dark green color would be flood watch. So that is in effect. If we want to see the actual details of that flood watch, we come back here and we click the link here for the flood watch, and it says details. So we'll click on that. And there's the actual text of the flood watch for that part of Florida. So this is a quick look at the new radar. Again, it's coming in December through the National Weather Service. Not only radar data, but forecast and hazardous information.